Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go.
All right. Good evening. Happy Easter, traders. This is Rev-UP. I go by SageFT. I am the creator, founder of the live trading desk at SageFT.com. And I'm also the creator of Greatness for the Community. I think you guys are freaking awesome. I just want to say that. Happy Easter. Hope everybody had a great day off. Hope you got to look at some charts on Friday. Hope you got to do some studying of last week on Saturday. And, hopefully today you've been preparing for what comes next week. Well, let's just talk just real quickly about what happened last week, because we slid about 3%. Okay, so now that's great, but the part that I want to look at is right here. This is the 4-hour chart. Okay, this was very, very obvious what was going to happen right here. Okay, and this is why I want to show you how I made all the points when this thing actually did what it was going to do. Okay, so now let's take a look at this. This is the morning of the 16th, right, which is, if I do declare, Wednesday. Sorry about that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look. And so what we want to look at is, because on the daily chart we're trend down, okay, position 1 down, fractal down, everything is down, right? What you're looking for is, where does it show you evidence that it's going to turn back in the same direction? Well, right here. We get our signal that says, hey, we're looking to sell. And so what I was looking at was, what is this shelf right here? What is this shelf? And when it breaks, how hard does it break? Now, I want to remind everyone that this high to high become support trend line. Okay. This trend line, the reason I haven't moved it is it's 1, 2 points, needs a third point here, and it just goes through. This is the trend line. How did you know it's a trend line? You don't know it's a trend line until I make it the trend line. Now it's the trend line. Yeah, but Rev, isn't the trend line usually on top of stuff? Well, to who? To what? When? What did you write the algo that says it has to be that way, or are you looking at the algo that I'm showing you that says something different? Okay, so now let's go back. So sorry for moving this chart around so much, making you guys sick. What I want to do is I want to go back to this right here. Okay, so it starts on the April 15th, late at night. Okay, we're going to go 15th through the 16th. Let's go to the 15-minute chart, take a look at it. 15th through the 16th. Okay, 15th to the 16th. Okay, here's how this played out, right? This is beautiful. You could see that there was selling pressure coming in. Let me show you how. Okay, we get up, we break, retest, lower low, lower high, okay, and then now we're coming into this flag, right? So I want this to make sense, and then we're going to carry on here, because this is why we did what we did. See how this worked here, right? So then what this was right here, and you can go back in, you can VOD the stream. What I said right here was, look, what they're going to do now is, or I said, what if they decided they're just going to run the clock out on the longs, right? Because if you look at the levels, they drew on them. Shkabam! That's a sweep. So now how do they trap? And now let me say this: how do I know that they ran the time out on the longs? If this was Wednesday, Wednesday was not a good day for me. I was dumb, and I'm going to be real honest with you. I lost about, how many points was it? It was a lot of points. It was very stupid, right? And what I did is I let them run the clock out on me. And I think I got out at like 23 or 28 or 31 or something. So it was absolutely terrible, right? It was ill, right? So I knew that they were doing it. So this is setting up for the rest of the week, right? So watch, we're still in position 1 to the upside, right? So we can't really be like, all right, we're going to get balls deep short. Can't do that. Now, as you see in other content creators' videos that I have apparently inspired, that have much larger audiences and can capitalize on that much more than I can. What you're about to see is why they sold. Boom, right there. Okay, so now we get the gap. This is for the next day, right? And they gap and drop, but then they somehow overnight there's some sort of weird Chinese buying or something like that, right? I don't know who was buying, right? It doesn't matter, right? So they're sell back into position one, sell. Okay, but then watch this, and watch this level right here, because this is where this. Let's take a look at what transpired on the gap here. So on the 4-hour chart, we break above. They make a run for the high. It fails. You get a lower high, and then there's a gap down here, right? And so what I want to look at here is not just this perfect shelf, okay? But I want to look at this gap. So if we go to the 15-minute chart, here's how we played the sessions over the last couple days of the shortened holiday weekend. Right, so this gap here, right, they run it on the overnight of the 15th. We go into the 16th, okay, at about 3-4 o'clock in the morning. They try to run it up, and so they fill the inefficiency here, right? So most weak players think that, oh, you buy right here because we just broke structure or changed character or whatever they learned on a video. Wrong. If you watch it float back down, you can see they're selling it on the way up. It was not supposed to do this. Okay, so if we think about, well, how would we trade it? Well, you would short when we'd go back. So we would be short here. All right. And we would be short here. Okay. And so the way that you want to look at it is, well, you want to just trade with the momentum. Well, if we're underneath the 200 simple, momentum is down, right? So then you only want to trade when the momentum flips. So the way that you would break this down is on the 2-minute chart using the same method that we did on the 15-minute chart, the 4-hour chart, and the daily chart. You're just going to take the next trade, take the next trade, take the next trade. Every trade is a short after here. The best part is we've found ways to get in earlier and sustain and remain in and enter and add and things like that. And so the way that I traded was I gained a significant amount of points selling into this, right? And so this is where the gap comes in, right? This is the 2-minute chart. Okay, but watch, if we go back to the 15-minute chart, this is where all of this comes together, okay? So they fill the inefficiency. You can see that we're in a downtrend. Okay, if we just zoom out, way down, way down, way down, right? Okay, so now we fill the inefficiency here. We're still in position one if we turn down here. We're below the 200. So you see it drift down. So then you just wait for it to go back into position one. You wait for the fractal to repeat, and you just keep executing. And then overnight, it flips, right? You get the major draw onto our level that we talk about on the stream, right? And then you get a major liquidity event here, or illiquidity event here. It draws into it. And so now that's where we're at, and that's what we're going to be looking for. So what are we looking for now? Well, let's just take a look. Well, if we go by what we trade, we are position one down on the 4-hour chart. Let's go to the daily chart. Position one down, 228 price. The expected move is lower. Now, the one thing that I do want to point out, that, and I don't think I can draw it. Let me see. I don't have NinjaTrade open, but if you have been hearing about the death cross, right? It's the 50 going down through the 200. Well, okay. So if everybody knows that the selling is coming, well, doesn't that mean that there's going to be possible inventory it would be inventory on this, the demand side to purchase, right? Or some sort of liquidity. So what I'm watching is if we're going to bounce, we're going to bounce right up into this tiny little gap here, okay, which is 556475. Okay. If we're going to fall, we're going to come back down. We're going to test into this fair value gap. It's basically, you know what I mean. It's a order block. Excuse me. We're going to come down, test into it. We're either going to break it or we're not. It's that time, right? We're either going to break it or we're not. Okay. Or let's go to the third option. Or the third option is we're coming up in April and May, and they're just going to run the time out of the clock. And the market makers are going to make it a fortune because this is going to trade back and forth. Okay. So remember that there's always a third option. The market makers have to win at some point. Otherwise, they can't keep making the market. Right. So the way that we're going to trade this is we're going to wait for our 4 hour. It's going to tell us that we're going to be long or short bias. We're going to go down to the 15-minute. We're going to be long or short bias. We're going to go to the 2-minute. We're going to be long or short bias, and we're going to enter. All right. So now the last thing that I want to bring up is what we're showing on the stream is so successful that other traders, YouTube promoters, YouTube influencers are watching my stream, changing things up just a little bit and making videos about it and getting a much bigger response. So if you want to see the origins of where some of the gurus are getting their stuff, come on by and check us out Monday, 8 a.m. on all platforms. Last thing I want to talk about is if you trade the micros and you're ready for your eval portion of your data collection process, I'd like you to check out Take Profit Trader. We will leave the link down below. They have 50-cent micro commissions in their evals on their pro accounts. That's going to do it for me. I'll see everyone tomorrow morning live, 8 a.m. We are going to get it. We are going to get it, whether it goes sideways, up, or down. I am pumped, folks. Happy Easter. I hope you have a wonderful time with your family. Good night.